And then also it says that granite was an igneous rock. That means it was molten and it cooled off. That's igneous inside the earth. When in actuality, granite's never been molten. Never. You know, the Bible says it was formed underwater, but had the earth ever been molten, the dense non-reactive chemical elements such as gold would have sunk to the earth's core, because gold is 70% denser than lead. And it goes on to say that if melted granite slowly cooled, the first material to solidify would be at the bottom of the melt if it were denser than the melt, or it would be on the top of the melt if it were less dense than the melt. Layer cake minerals would form instead of granite, which is granular. Therefore, the entire earth was never molten. So there's a lot of things that they're teaching as fact, and yet they can't prove it. We can't make granite. You know, it turns into rhyolite. And granite's made of 4 different materials that have different specific densities. But it's being taught as fact. And this guy, Robert Gentry, he found these halos that have, in granite, these polonium halos that have a half-life of 3 minutes. And it's gone. He says to find them in granite would be like finding Alka-Seltzer bubbles in ice. You know, it had to be just flash frozen, and that's what he thinks granite is. And then he challenged him. You can prove me wrong if you just make some granite with some of these halos in it, and nobody can do it. But when they found out that it went against the Big Bang Theory and billions of years, they cut his funding. It's like, we don't want to know what you know anymore. And that's typically what happens. They cut the finding, and then there's corruption in science. Dr. Jerry Bergman, you know, he got fired because of his stance on creation, but he said that there's corruption he taught at a med school too, and he said that med schools, the doctors aren't paid by the med school, they're paid by grants. And if you want your grant renewed, you're going to find the results they want, or you don't get the grant renewed. And so are you going to fudge the numbers so you can keep your family there, or are you going to be honest and lose it? And other places too, Helmut Welke said the same thing's happening in genetics and also in the climate area. And so, yeah, we have to the science should be questioned. And we should see both sides. And we're not seeing both sides.